Strap in, fans, because it's time for another round of fictitious frenzy on Grudge Match Unlimited, the show where our favorite characters who would normally never be able to cross paths are pitted against each other to put their skills to the test and see who takes home the gold. Today's match crosses the magical powers of two of the most powerful wizards from literary fandom. From the mind of J.R.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, the top wizard of Middle-earth, Gandalf, and from J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter franchise, the headmaster of Hogwarts, Dumbledore. These two characters have a lot in common besides the obvious similarities in their appearance, both embodying the stereotypical visage of a wizard, old man, gray hair, long beard, but both also rely on having great wisdom as well as magical power, and both also rely on magical objects to help focus their great magical power to make them the top wizards of their respective worlds. So now taking a look at them individually, and starting with Gandalf, first appearing in The Hobbit, moving on to the Lord of the Rings series after that, created in 1937, also going by the name Gandalf the Grey and later Gandalf the White, also called Olorin, Gandalf Stormcrow, and Mithrandir, among other names. Gandalf is incredibly old, having lived 300 lives of men when he became Gandalf the White in the second book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Two Towers. So he's easily several thousands of years old already. And although he takes on the form of an old man, Gandalf is actually one of the Ishtar, a powerful spirit that was given human form in order to help the people and races of Middle-earth overcome great evil in the form of the orcs and Sauron himself. The wizards of Middle-earth are ranked according to color, and Gandalf was the second most powerful wizard throughout most of his life, as Gandalf the Grey, and Saruman the White was the most powerful and head of the Order. But when the Lord of the Rings trilogy happened, Saruman the White betrayed the races of Middle-earth and sided with Sauron in evil. Gandalf had to fight him and eventually overcame him and became Gandalf the White, the most powerful wizard on Middle-earth. Gandalf isn't always eager to showcase his incredible magical power, and most oftentimes acts as guides for his party and friends in helping them find their way around Middle-earth, having an almost encyclopedic knowledge of absolutely every nook and cranny of Middle-earth, but he does have incredible magical power himself. He can focus this through a few different items that he carries on him, most notably the wizard staff. He can use his wizard staff to throw out waves and blasts of energy, to engage in telekinesis, move things with his mind, or fight using telekinetic power. He can use it to dispel evil or to break magical spells. He can peer into other people's minds, communicate telepathically, and produce the Flame of Anor, a mythical fire of incredible power. And he does use this staff as a focusing agent to focus his power, and without the staff, his powers are greatly diminished, as is true with all the wizards. But that's not the only weapon and item that he uses. He is also very skilled as a swordsman, and he has a special sword named Glamdring, which he uses in combat along with his staff in one hand, sword in the other. And he's very skilled with that sword. Additionally, he also is the wielder of one of the famed Rings of Power. His specific ring is called Narya, the Ring of Fire, and this could be what helps him to control the Fire of Anor. This was originally one of the 3 rings of power that were gifted to the elf people and eventually came into Gandalf's possession. It also helps to increase his confidence and leadership abilities, as well as increases his resistance to other magical attacks. Dumbledore from the Harry Potter franchise, first created in 1997. Full name, Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, is a Grand Sorcerer, Supreme Mugwump of the International Confederation of Wizards, and Chief Warlock of the Wizengamot. He is also, of course, the headmaster of Hogwarts School of Wizarding and Witchcraft. Dumbledore is 115 years old at the time of his death at the hands of Severus Snape. He was thought to be the most powerful wizard on the planet, right up there in terms of power next to Voldemort himself, and was the best and most accomplished pupil to ever come out of Hogwarts Academy. Dumbledore also has a wide variety of magical skills and abilities at his command. The ability to fire blasts of energy, to control the elements, to read people's minds, communicate telepathically, move things with his mind, among many other powers. And like Gandalf, who focuses his power through his staff, Dumbledore also has an object that he uses to focus his power through. Like all of the wizards in the Harry Potter world, he uses a wand. And Dumbledore's wand is a very specific and impressive one known as the Elder Wand. It's thought to be one of the most powerful wands ever in existence, and it helps to focus and increase his magical power. All wizards, when competing in duels with other wizards, will use wands, and when the wand is broken or removed from their grasp, they significantly go down in power. But Dumbledore has the ability to use some magic without the need of a wand. Not enough to really compete against a wanded wizard in a duel, but he has a lot of magical abilities that he can use without wands at all, which he showcases in the books and the movies by being able to start fires without a wand in his hand and being able to cast certain spells without wand as well. Dumbledore is famed for many things, but not least of which is being the one wizard on the entire planet that the Lord of Evil, Lord Voldemort, actually fears, because he is the one wizard who can challenge Voldemort blow for blow and magic for magic and actually defeat him. They've even dueled, and it ended in a stalemate that had Voldemort running away in fear of Dumbledore's power. So having taken a look at both of these wizard characters, it's time to decide what would happen if they were to put their magical skills to the test, pit themselves against one another in a wizard's duel for the ages. The winner would be Gandalf. The Ishtar powerhouse from Lord of the Rings is going to take home the win of this grudge match for two primary reasons. One, experience, and two, ability to wield their weapon throughout the entire combat. So where experience is concerned, as previously stated, Gandalf is several thousands of years old in human form, and he still has memories and knowledge of his time before human form when he was one of the Ishtar, a powerful non-corporeal spirit. So his knowledge and his intelligence and his mastery of magic just cannot be denied. He has literally thousands of years of experience fighting evil, and fighting incredibly powerful evil at that. Not just other powerful sorcerers and magicians, but demons as well. He fought the fire demon Balrog to a standstill and actually defeated him, killed the Balrog, and won the fight. So his level of experience and knowledge of magic is probably going to be better than that of Dumbledore, who has only lived one human life, and a long one, albeit 115 years old, but Gandalf so much more experience over that. Then when it comes to their weapons, a staff versus a wand, they are both decreased in their magical powers without their wizard weapon, but both have the ability to still do magic even without it. So they're on even footing in terms of the magic they wield, but Gandalf not only uses his staff as a focal point for his magic, but he can also use it as a melee tool and a melee weapon as well. And it's probably easier to keep a grasp on a large staff than it would be a wand that could more easily be plucked from the hand. And since both of these characters have the ability to use telekinesis to pull objects away from the grasp of their opponents, it would probably be easier for Gandalf to remove the wand from Dumbledore's hands than it would be for the reverse. And even if they manage to take their magical weapons out of each other's grasp and just come down to wandless magic versus staffless magic, Gandalf also has great swordsman skills as well. So he could bring in his sword, Glamdring, and bring those skills to bear in a match that actually came down to more hand-to-hand combat. So Gandalf has the experience, he's got the better weapons, and otherwise magical skills between the two are relatively even footing, so those couple of advantages are going to give Gandalf the win of this Grudge Match Unlimited. So let me know what you think down below, and of course any suggestions for future matches. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match Unlimited.